Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 22nd of May 2025 and the price of Bitcoin has reached a new all-time high, guys. And what is really crazy to note, guys, is on the 22nd of May 2010, one of the software engineers, he did actually go ahead and spend 10,000 Bitcoin to go ahead and buy 2 pizzas. And at today's price, guys, those 2 pizzas would have been worth roughly around $1.9 billion. Absolutely crazy, isn't it? Now it is great that Bitcoin has reached a new all-time high coinciding with that date. So we'll very briefly touch base on the importance on the 22nd of May every year, particularly when we talk about Bitcoin. Now there are quite a lot of interesting things to cover, guys, in today's episode. The first one I want to touch base is regarding strategic Bitcoin reserve and Texas, which is another Republican state. They are the third state to go ahead and establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and the bill called as SB 21 is officially passed, and now it is heading towards the governor's desk. And the governor, guys, is none other than Greg Abbott, who is a massive advocate of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So things are definitely looking good for the state of Texas. Now next Tuesday, guys, on the 27th of this month, I am actually going live via LinkedIn, and I'm going to be talking about strategic Bitcoin reserve, the history of it, what exactly is a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and I'm going to be discussing quite a lot of interesting things. And I do have an interesting guest who is the managing director of on-ramp MENA region, and we are going to take a deep dive into strategic Bitcoin reserve. So if you're connected on LinkedIn, guys, we will be going live at 7 p.m. Gulf Standard Time on the 27th of this month. So please feel free to go and join in. Now I will also be publishing it as an episode in all of the podcasting platforms. So let's say, guys, if you can't go ahead and catch us live, you're more than welcome to go ahead and listen to it in all of the podcasting platform. Now the next news, guys, is connected to stablecoin legislation and the Hong Kong government, guys. They have approved stablecoin legislation, so we'll very briefly touch base on this. Now look, guys, me personally, I'm a massive critic of stablecoins, because according to me, stablecoin issuers, they are literally replacing the role of a bank, isn't it? But that thing being said, guys, if you look at the 24-hour volume of stablecoins, they do account for 90% of the trading volume, isn't it? And because stablecoin issuers are legal entity, I kind of agree with all the legislation in place regarding stablecoin issuers. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss this news. Now the next news, guys, is connected to real world assets. And Robinhood, which is one of the leading apps in the United States of America, they did actually submit a regulatory proposal in the form of a letter to the United Securities and Exchange Commission. And the document, guys, is exactly 42 pages. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss what this letter is all about. Now look, guys, whether we like it or not, the next hype right now is tokenization, isn't it? But me personally, guys, I do have apprehensions regarding tokenization. Now we have 2 more news to cover, guys, in today's episode. The next news is connected to a blockchain protocol called as Avalanche and VanEck, guys. They are focusing on an ecosystem that is connected to Avalanche, and they're launching a purpose-built fund, which is exclusively only for Avalanche ecosystem. So I'll go ahead and share more information regarding this. Now the next news, guys, is connected to the state of New York. And the mayor of New York, that is Eric Adams, who was the first guy to go ahead and accept Bitcoin as form of payments. He used to be a Democrat, but now he's running as an independent. And historically, guys, he's a massive advocate of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now he was one of the key speakers at New York Crypto Summit. And at that Crypto Summit, guys, he did make an announcement of the Digital Asset Crypto Council. So things hopefully will be looking great for the city of New York. And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, try to connect with Eric Adams, particularly if you're working on cryptocurrency space. So we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover, guys, in today's episode. And like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date series, we will be looking at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news, guys, are positive news. And the first news is from the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. And Bitcoin Suisse, guys, they have secured in principle approval from Abu Dhabi Global Markets Financial Services Regulatory Authority. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss what this news is all about. Now the second news, guys, is connected to President Donald Trump and Trump Towers and the works in Dubai and other regions, isn't it? And the news is connected to Bitcoin as well. And the news essentially is that Trump Tower in Dubai, guys, is now accepting Bitcoin for property purchases. And they're doing that via an app called as DXB. So I'll go ahead and share more information regarding this. So we've got a lot of interesting things to cover, guys, in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode, As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well. And Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously. And they're focusing on 3 P's. That is people, planet, and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform. Check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you're taking care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Yesterday night, guys, that is on the 21st, Bitcoin did actually reach a new all-time high, and the price of Bitcoin was hovering around the $109,000 mark. So it looks like things are definitely looking great for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it? And if you look at the global cryptocurrency market, it is right now at $3.52 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, the global cryptocurrency market is marginally pumped up by 0.84%. But look, guys, the prices are consistently being pumping up, and there is a very high possibility by the time you're listening to the episode, the prices would have crossed the $110,000 mark, maybe even the $112,000 mark. Now, what is really interesting to note, guys, is since the last 24 hours, even the ETF inflows has increased a lot. And since the last 24 hours, $681.1 million has been put in ETF inflows. Now, mind you, guys, this is not only connected to Bitcoin, but even Ethereum ETF as well as other cryptocurrency related ETFs. Now what I really like is if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume since the last 24 hours, today it is at a staggering $172 billion. And look guys, if the prices are increasing and if the total cryptocurrency market volume is pumping up, things are definitely looking great, isn't it? But you also need to remember guys, these are the times where the market sentiment is that great, and there's a very high possibility a lot of traders as well as high net worthy individuals, they may want to go ahead and exit the market as well. So don't be surprised if there's a massive dumping or selling going on as well. Now the global cryptocurrency market since the last 24 hours is up by 12.06%. And if you look at the volume in decentralized finance, today it is at $16.42 billion. But unfortunately guys, decentralized finance today is accounting for only 9.01% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And surprisingly guys, the total value locked since the last 24 hours has actually gone down. And today it is down to $116.70 billion. But the decentralized exchange dominance is marginally pumped up, and today it is at 44.67%. Now there is a bit of shake-up so far as the 24-hour volume of decentralized exchange is concerned, and PancakeSwap today is at number 1, and its 24-hour volume is $4.71 billion. Uniswap guys is at number 2nd, but it is not far behind with a staggering volume of $4.70 billion. Orca guys is at number 3rd, and its 24-hour volume is a little shy of the $1 billion mark, $922.23 million. Radium gas is at number 4th, and its 24-hour volume is $900.36 million. Meteor gas is at number 5th, and its 24-hour volume is $847.46 million. Now look guys, since the last week or so, the volume of decentralized exchanges have definitely been pumping up. So are we heading towards a world where decentralized or distributed exchanges volume up at an up pace? I'm definitely hoping it to be consistent for at least 6 months, and only then we can confidently state that the world is ready for decentralization, isn't it? Now let's quickly run through some numbers regarding stablecoins. Now the market cap of stablecoins is at $244.29 billion, but look as the volume of stablecoins has definitely picked up a lot of pace, and it is no surprise that Tether USDT is leading the pack, and its 24-hour volume is $151.95 billion. Circle USDC guys is at number 2nd, and its 24-hour volume is $15.57 billion. FDUSD is at number 3rd, and its 24-hour volume is $5.29 billion. And Tether USDT guys, it is still dominating the stablecoin world with 62.41% as dominance. Now let's quickly run through some numbers regarding the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now Bitcoin guys, after reaching a new all-time high, the market cap right now is at $2.17 trillion. But look guys, I cannot stress this enough. There is a very high possibility by the time you're listening to the episode, these numbers would have changed drastically. And if you look at the market cap of Ethereum guys, unfortunately it hasn't pumped up a lot. It is only at $302 billion. So since the last 24 hours guys, looks like a lot of activity is taking place in Bitcoin, isn't it? And if you look at the 24-hour trading volume guys, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is more than double of that of Ethereum, and its 24-hour volume is almost $75 billion, $74.89 billion to be precise, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $31.27 billion. Now the dominance of Bitcoin is definitely pumped up since the last 24 hours, and today the dominance of Bitcoin is 62.10%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is also marginally pumped up, and the dominance of Ethereum is at 8.60%. Now every day in the Blockchain DXB podcast, I tend to look at one new matrix, isn't it? And whenever guys the price of Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high or pumps up, it is the meme coin world that pumps up the most. So what I want to do is guys, I want to run through some numbers regarding the top meme tokens by market capitalization. And Dogecoin is at number 1, and its market cap right now is at $34.30 billion. Shiba Inu guys is at number 2nd, and its market cap is at $8.66 billion. Pepe is at number 3rd. Its market cap is at $6.61 billion. Now President Donald Trump's official Trump token guys right now is at number 4th, and its market cap is at $2.85 billion. And Bonk token guys is at number 5th, but its market cap is about the $1 billion mark. It is at $1.61 billion. It's going to be really interesting to see guys if the meme coin market consistently pumps up as and when the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are pumping up. Because look guys, historically speaking, whenever the prices of Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high, the meme coin goes completely off the chart, isn't it? They usually go up by 40%, certain cases even 80%, but you also need to bear a lot of caution guys, because there are loads of pump and dump schemes involved as well. But look guys, whatever I'm saying is definitely not financial advice, and make sure you go and do your own research. Now guys, let's go and look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And the price of Bitcoin has reached a new all-time high, and the price of Bitcoin is at $109,580. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 1.80%. And since the last 7 days, it is up by 4.84%. Ethereum gas is at $2,512. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 0.19%. But since the last 7 days, it is down by 3.21%. Ripple XRP is at $2.38. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 1.14%. But since the last 7 days, it is down by 6.74%. Now regarding Ripple, guys, the only reason why the process isn't pumped up is because there was a minor hiccup regarding the settlement between US Security and Exchange Commission and Ripple, isn't it? And this hiccup was mostly to do with documentation and paperwork. And I'm pretty much sure, guys, this thing will be easily solved. And once that announcement is made, who's to say the price of Ripple might actually reach the $3 mark? But look, guys, whatever I'm saying is definitely not financial advice. And make sure you go and do your own research. Now look, guys, today is the 22nd of May 2024. And by this time, you would know that on 22nd of May 2010, programmer Laszlo Hanyecz, guys, famously spent 10,000 Bitcoin to go and buy 2 pizzas. And that particular transaction, guys, made history by making the first ever real-world Bitcoin transaction. Now what is crazy to note, guys, is that 10,000 Bitcoin would be approximately $1.9 billion. Now at that point of time, guys, those 2 pizzas costed somewhere around $41. And these transactions were actually sent to Papa John's. And the person who received it did actually go and spend all the 10,000 Bitcoin. Now, based on my research and understanding, guys, the person who did receive 10,000 Bitcoin, he did actually spend those 10,000 Bitcoin for roughly around $400, and he's still content with those spendings. But the big question, guys, is who would you want to be? Would you want to be the person who spent 10,000 Bitcoin to go and buy 2 pizzas? Or would you want to be the person who received 10,000 Bitcoin and spent it for roughly around $400? Both of them would definitely be bashing the head, isn't it? But look, guys, news such as this is definitely historic in the world of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has definitely taken leaps and bounds, particularly in the finance and money space, isn't it? And historically, guys, I've always said this, so far as the United States of America is concerned, there's a lot of news surrounding regarding strategic Bitcoin reserve. And another Republican state, guys, that is the state of Texas, they will soon be establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And the news essentially is that Texas Senate Bill SB 21, which establishes a strategic Bitcoin reserve, is officially passed and is now headed to Governor's desk for final approval. Texas will become the 3rd state to adopt such a reserve policy. Now, there is a very high chance that Texas Governor Abbott will approve Senate Bill SB 21 that proposes the establishment of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And the answer is pretty simple, guys. He is a massive advocate of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and he's always offered legislative support. And based on the bill, guys, it does actually align with the state's goal as well. So what I'd really recommend you to do is keep an eye on the date, because he will definitely go and sign the bill into law. And once that announcement is made, guys, I'm pretty much sure it'll react positively for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it? Now look, guys, regarding politics and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, I do have a new project called as Bitcoin DXB. And what I want to do is, I want to do something called a special hour analysis on Bitcoin. And special hour, by now you should know, stands for political, economical, social, technological, legal, environmental, and religious. So in the special hour analysis, guys, we will take a deep dive into the political stance on Bitcoin, the economical impact on Bitcoin, the social impact on Bitcoin and vice versa, the technological implication of Bitcoin which is connected to Bitcoin mining, your private key, public key, and public address, the legal questions regarding Bitcoin, and we'll also take a deep dive into is Bitcoin legal, and regarding environmental factors, we'll take a deep dive into the ESG notion, and finally, guys, regarding religious factors, is Bitcoin the most Sharia compliant form of money? And a lot of Islamic scholars, guys, they are becoming massive advocates of Bitcoin as well. So in the Bitcoin DXB podcast, guys, I will definitely take a deep dive into all of these. Now, if you do want to be part of the Bitcoin DXB project, guys, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now, guys, let's go and discuss some news regarding stablecoin legislation in Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong, guys, since last year or so, have definitely been making quite a lot of news. And Hong Kong stablecoin bill, guys, has been passed, and they will be establishing a license regime for fiat reference stablecoins, and it is often referred to as FRS issuers, and they want to strengthen the city's virtual asset regulatory framework. And the issuers of FRS, that is fiat reference stablecoins, or referencing Hong Kong dollars, will need a license from the Monetary Authority. and they must meet strict requirements on reserve management, redemption, risk control, and AML and CFTC compliance. Now look guys, I've always said this, me personally, I'm definitely not fan of regulations, but when it comes to stablecoin issuers, according to me, they're literally replacing a role of a bank. So regulations and legislation do make a lot of sense, particularly when you talk about stablecoins. And once licensed guys, these institutions can offer fiat reference stablecoins, and they can do that to retail investors, and only licensed fiat reference stablecoins are permitted to prevent fraud. So look guys, there's a lot of legislation for stablecoin issuers, isn't it? And this particular regime guys supports financial innovation, user protection and market stability aligning with global standards, and this ordinance is expected to take effect later this year, with a transition period to help firms adjust, and the government will also consult on regulation on OTC and custodian services as part of its broader virtual asset strategy. So definitely interesting news in the world of stablecoins. Now guys, let's go to discuss some news in the world of tokenization. And Robinhood, which is one of the leading fintech apps in America, they have submitted a landmark regulatory proposal to United Securities and Exchange Commission, and they are seeking to establish the first federal framework for real-world asset tokenization, and this move supports the launch of its upcoming Robinhood RWA Exchange, which is also called as RWA, and it will essentially be a platform designed to bring together compliance, social investing, and blockchain innovation. Now look guys, I'm definitely not liking this news, cause look, when you talk about real-world asset tokenization, you need to go ahead and follow KYC and AML. And according to me guys, I do have a lot of apprehensions regarding tokenization, but regarding this news, the letter that they have submitted to SEC is a 42-page long, and the proposal includes standards for federally licensed tokenized asset issuance and global KYC AML compliance using tools like geometry analysis, and it is going to be built on Solana as well as Base blockchain, and Robinhood is aiming for $10 billion in total value locked and a staggering 5 million users in 3 years, and experts including Goldman Sachs' Emily Carter guys sees it as a major step towards Securities 2.0, as they are blending traditional finance with blockchain and giving Robinhood a first mover advantage in the global RWA space. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the outcome to this is. Now look guys, I cannot stress this enough. The only reason why there is so much of hype regarding tokenization is because of Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. He's a massive advocate of tokenization, isn't it? And on a side note, what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, go to the BlackRock website and read through his letter where he talks about democratizing investment, and it is only because of this letter guys there is so much of hype regarding tokenization. Now guys, let's go and discuss some interesting news from VanEck. And VanEck is launching the purpose-built fund next month, and it's going to be exclusively focused on Avalanche ecosystem, and this particular fund guys will be managed by its digital asset alpha fund, and the fund will invest in liquidity tokens and venture-backed projects in sectors like gaming, finance, as well as artificial intelligence, and it targets projects around or after token generation events using a long-term, fundamentals-first approach, and unused capital will be deployed on-chain in real-world asset products on Avalanche, and that would be to go ahead and maintain liquidity. And one of the reasons why VanEck chose Avalanche is because of its strong technical architecture and business development, and they currently have absolutely no plans to launch similar funds to other ecosystems. Now if you do need official information regarding this guys, the details is actually published by Blockwork, and the link to that is in the show notes below. Now guys, let's go and discuss some news all the way from New York. And the New York mayor guys was a former Democrat and now an independent, that is Eric Adams. He's starting a digital asset crypto council, and what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, he did actually go live via YouTube where he discussed his background in the technology space as well, and it is absolutely no surprise that he was one of the first mayor in history to accept the first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin. And when he did that guys, I did actually tag him via LinkedIn, and he did actually reshare that story. I believe that thing did actually take place somewhere in 2021. Now regarding this news guys, Eric Adams is creating a digital asset council, and he also introduced a guy called as Matt Fraser, and he will be the one who will be spearheading this development. So what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, try to go and follow Eric Adams and support him as much as you can, cause look guys, when he was a Democrat, things were definitely not looking good for him, but now he's not a Republican either. He's running as an independent, but he did visit President Donald Trump guys. Now keeping politics aside guys, what I'm really liking that is consistent regarding his stance for Bitcoin, and in the YouTube video guys he did actually state, we have experts here in New York and they're going to help us navigate solutions that serve our city, and he also added about tokenization guys. what he actually said. The age of tokenization, which includes cryptocurrencies and blockchain and other fintech innovations, that age is here, and we are going to continue to move forward with it. So hopefully things are definitely looking good for the state of New York, and I'm pretty much sure guys in the next coming weeks there will be policy recommendations regarding digital asset crypto council. But once again God, what I'd really recommend you to do is go ahead and listen to the entire speech which is on YouTube and try to support him as much as you can. Cause look guys, he was committed to Bitcoin even when he was a Democrat, and he's still continuing it now as an independent. Maybe in future he might turn out to be a Republican as well. So definitely great news. So these were some news guys from the Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence world. Now let's go ahead and look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news guys is regarding Bitcoin Suisse. They have secured in principle approval from Abu Dhabi Global Market Financial Services Regulatory Authority. Now the in principle approval marks a key milestone for Bitcoin Suisse's global expansion, particularly in the Middle East. And this approval underscores their dedication to regulatory compliance and transparency. And once fully licensed guys, they will be able to offer trading in virtual assets, crypto securities, derivatives and custody services in Abu Dhabi Global Market. And Abu Dhabi Global Market guys is recognized as a leading regulated hub of virtual assets in MENA region, isn't it? And Bitcoin Suisse plans to bring its clients focused on refined crypto financial services model to the Middle East. And the head of global expansion, that is Saida, has emphasized the significance of the in-principle approval and Abu Dhabi's global potential. And the head is now designated as the senior executive of BTC Middle East Limited. And Bitcoin Suisse guys will continue to work closely with Financial Services Regulatory Authority to obtain a full license. And Abu Dhabi Global Markets Arvind Ramamurthy has welcomed the expansion, citing Bitcoin Suisse's value to the ecosystem. And so far as the custody solution is concerned guys, they hold over $6 billion, which is approximately $22.2 billion in digital asset custody solutions. And they also manage over $2.6 billion, which is roughly around 8 billion dirhams, in institutional staking services. And they definitely are a global leader in the space, isn't it? And these figures guys do position Bitcoin Suisse as a leading global provider in digital asset custody and staking. And their entry into Abu Dhabi global market ecosystem reinforces regional presence. And the in-principle approval guys reflect strong operational and risk management standards. And so far as BTC Middle East Limited is concerned, they will continue developing its product offering to meet clients. And I believe guys they were founded way back in 2013, and they are headquartered in Switzerland, I believe. And they do employ over 200 experts across Europe and Middle East. So them getting an in-principle approval is definitely a massive deal. Now guys, let's go ahead and discuss second news. And this is connected to President Donald Trump. And the Trump Tower in Dubai guys, they now accept Bitcoin for property purchases, and they're doing that via an app called DXB. So let me go ahead and share this brilliant news. Cause the Trump Tower in Dubai guys is a $1 billion luxury retail project, and it is the first Trump International hotel in the Middle East. And the tower now accepts Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for property purchases. And so far as crypto payments are concerned guys, they are going to be facilitated through an app called DXB, and they are a licensed stablecoin payment provider. And this particular news guys was officially announced by Eric Trump, who is the executive vice president of the Trump Organization. And this particular decision does reflect the growing crypto adoption in Dubai and the Middle East, isn't it? And we know guys crypto usage in UAE in particular is been growing since the last few years, and there are expectations for it to increase over 200% this year. And regarding DXB guys, they are a regulated virtual asset service provider in Lithuania, and DXB supports secure instant transactions. And they also enable crypto payments in real estate, aviation and even different sectors. And so far stablecoin payments are concerned guys, they do reduce delays and increase flexibility for international buyers, isn't it? And regarding compliance and security guys, transactions do remain fully compliant with local and international regulations. And Trump Tower in Dubai guys is developed in partnership with UK-based real estate firm called Tower Global. And the tower offers high-end condos and penthouses with some unit price at over $73 million. And the Trump Tower guys will also feature the world's highest outdoor pool and a panoramic view of the Burj Khalifa as well. And look guys, their target audience is designed for ultra high net worthy individuals and long-term international residents. And this particular project guys does reinforce Dubai's image as a nexus for luxury living and financial innovation, isn't it? And by accepting Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as form of payment, it does reflect a global shift towards digital currencies for premium purchases like yacht, jets, and even fine arts. So definitely brilliant news guys. And look, as President Donald Trump has been making brilliant relationship, particularly with the Middle East as well as in it. So things are definitely looking good at the geopolitical level as well. So these were the newscasts on the Bitcoin blockchain, cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence world from blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. I have a question by Madhu asks, when does the inflation data be out and what can you tell, how does it impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? This, to be honest, is such an important question and I've often said this. At a geopolitical level and macro level, there are only two things that we need to be looking at. The first one is the CPI number or the inflation data, also called as Consumer Price Index. And there is a calendar which is actually put out on the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. But look, Ahmad, I have to stress this. The only website to look at inflation is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And the website is www.bls.gov. And you would be surprised, Ahmad. Mainstream media, they're definitely suffering from TDS or Trump derangement syndrome. And ever since President Donald Trump took office, they were saying that under the Trump administration, the inflation would be picking up pace. And exactly opposite happened, isn't it? On the 13th of this month, if I believe, the inflation data via the Bureau of Labor Statistics were out. And for the very first time in 4 years, the inflation data was actually down. And because of that, we are seeing the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies pumping up. Now, to answer your question, Ahmad, how it works is, let's say if it shows that the inflation is going down, then the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be pumping up. But let's say if the inflation is actually picking up pace, then it does have a negative impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, the reasoning for that is a bit different. One of the reasons why inflation data is important along with other information is because, based on the inflation data as well as labor market condition and economic factors, Federal Chair Jerome Powell at the FOMC meeting goes ahead and makes a decision whether to keep the interest rate the same, reduce it or increase it. Now he does look at inflation as well as other economic data to go ahead and make the decision. And it is a combination of all of these things that gives you an indication of how the economy is doing, isn't it? Now it's needless to say whatever happens in the United States of America is probably the most important thing. And so far as the CPI inflation data regarding US is concerned, Ahmad, the next data will be out on the 11th of June 2025. And I'm pretty much sure a few days before that you will be seeing some extreme volatility, particularly in the Bitcoin space. And so far as the FOMC data is concerned, that data will be out on the 18th of June. So do expect a lot of volatility a day before the inflation, that is the 10th of June, right until the 18th of June when the FOMC data will be out. But I cannot stress this enough, Ahmad. Mainstream media does go ahead and put out a completely fake news narrative. And they were saying that tariffs will be increasing inflation, isn't it? And President Donald Trump has been consistently saying that the inflation will not be increasing. And the last inflation data that did actually take place was on the 13th of this month. And that was the first data that did actually include tariffs as well. And it was absolutely no surprise that the inflation did actually go down. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, Ahmad, go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, that is www.bls.gov, and look at information only from the first source. And you'd be surprised. Mainstream media is definitely suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. And they often put out completely fake news. But at the same time, you also need to remember, Ahmad, it is the narrative mainstream media goes with that does actually drive the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies temporarily. But lately, a lot of them are completely ditching fake news mainstream media, isn't it? And a lot of them are actually looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. And they're also listening to Jerome Powell talk directly at the FOMC meeting. And he does actually go live via YouTube as well. So what I'd really recommend you to do is keep a track on two dates. The 11th of June via the Bureau of Labor Statistics, when the inflation data will be out, and on the 18th, Federal Chair Jerome Powell does actually go live, and the Federal Reserve Board has their own channel as well, and he does give an explanation whether he's kept the interest rate, reduced it or increased it, and President Donald Trump is advocating for him to go ahead and reduce it, isn't it? Because Europe has already reduced the interest rate. Now look, Ahmad, if Federal Chair Jerome Powell this time does go ahead and reduce the interest rate, I wouldn't be surprised if the price of Bitcoin might eventually reach the $200,000 mark. But as I often say, all price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. And whatever I'm saying is definitely not financial advice, but definitely a brilliant question. and I'll definitely go ahead and cover that in the Blockchain DXB podcast. So that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, we have the Blockchain DXB podcast, where we look at the process, we look at the geopolitical chaos, we also look at macro level news from the world of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and even artificial intelligence. We then look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East on the Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence world. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.